Hey, boys and girls, weather report for May 6th, 2022. How about that? 26,053 days old. I blew it. Oh, you're muted, Scott. I don't know, maybe that's a good thing.
I think it's probably best. It's usually the best thing. I'll start talking on it.
Yeah. So today we were both on Rebecca's channel, and I was hoping to talk to her because I got some fucking hard questions for her. But
she's a really great host.
She is a great host. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. So, and midnight, I did send you a link, and I don't know. We could throw a link out because it's kind of like Shit Show Friday, right?
Sure. Yeah, I can do that real quick.
So, yep. So my great niece just graduated with a bachelor's degree in plant science, botany from University of Minnesota. And the sad thing is I can't think of another of our offspring that have gotten a degree. My sons went straight into computer consulting right out of high school. So,
well, that was back in the old iron ages where you could work experience would equal job experience or whatever. I mean, job entry.
It still is as far as computer science is concerned. You're just wasting your time if you get a degree. You are wasting your time because
unless you want to become management or something.
Well, when I was hiring, I frequently found that people with degrees weren't worth a damn. They didn't know anything. But people that had gone on a few projects, they knew what they were doing. And it was kind of sad. Had sad luck with computer science degrees. But I don't know if they've gotten any better. They teach you Java, and I don't know what else they managed to teach you. But anyway, just my opinion. You learn how to program by doing it, I think.
Yeah, you kind of do.
Yep. Anyway, let's see. And the other thing we had, Secular Pagan Mom got us a video.
She did.
She did. I think maybe we should listen to it. This is the medical implications if Roe v. Wade is overturned. What do you think of that?
It's going to break my heart.
Going to break your heart.
Yeah, ladies are worried out there. Even the ones who, like Erica's about to get married. She's worried that her particular form of contraception isn't going to be available.
Right. And now North Dakota is talking about passing a law that would make it illegal to go to Minnesota to get an abortion. So they would basically charge the woman when she got back home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is draconian. I mean, that's
literally 1984.
Yeah. Just like I have no idea what the hell they're thinking. We'll see if it happens. I think it's going to damage the Republican Party a little bit. They only need to be damaged by about 5%, and they are fucked because they're right on the border already. So,
yeah.
Anyway, let's see what they have to say here. Want to see?
Let's take a look. Mom is here too.
On this, Dr. Patel.
Who?
Secular Pagan Mom is here.
Oh yes, there you go. So,
Mom. I've never really done that out loud, but I'll type it every time. Yeah.
Playing your video.
Thanks for being here. Critics of this Supreme Court draft decision have been responding a lot with the mantra, abortion is healthcare. As a physician, can you explain that?
Absolutely, Diane. When we look at abortion, very sensitive topic, but we know that when we hear stories from the 1 in 4 women by the age of 45 who obtain an abortion, there is a myriad of reasons. And when we talk about the medical indications, a lot of these indications are to protect or even save the life of the person who is the birthing parent, whether it is preeclampsia, an issue with the placenta, heart or kidney issues, or these issues that could arise even later on in a pregnancy. And then as a pediatrician myself, who was taking care of many, many children, I know personally what happens when someone is faced with a diagnosis of a birth defect, a severe chromosomal abnormality, or something else that really affects the health of a fetus. And this is why the American Medical Association, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists stand by the fact that this is a very difficult, complex decision that should be made and kept private between a patient, an individual, and a physician. And this is.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the Republicans are going to allocate billions of dollars to take care of severely genetically damaged children, or, children that are born into poverty. Are they going to do that along with it?
No, the family is just going to have to dip into their savings a little.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just me, or I don't know? I don't know what it is about this image, but it looks fake. I don't know. I don't know what the size of his head compared to his body, but am I the only one? Am I the only one who sees issues with?
Yep, you're the only one.
I can't help it. It's weird.
Well, now that you mention it, he does look a little oddly shaped or something.
He looks okay. You think this is a deep fake?
No, I'm not saying that. It's weird looking.
This is they CGI'd a medical professional to.
Yes, they did.
Because they couldn't find any medical professionals that were upset about this Roe v. Wade thing.
Yeah, basically, yes. It's all CGI.
Okay, well, fuck y'all.
That's why it's classified as healthcare.
Now, a number of states have already approved laws to ban abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Others are moving to ban abortion after 6 weeks. From a medical standpoint, what's significant about these timelines, and what's the impact of banning abortion after these points?
These fuckers.
Diane, simply put, when you look at the state bills, there doesn't seem to.
Okay, there's a convenient list of states we want to secede from the union.
I don't want to secede from the union.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to move, dude. Yeah.
Because
someone have to get 10-gallon hats.
Language, and that is kind of dangerous. If you look at Louisiana, for example, the law that's being put up right now, the trigger law, states that at fertilization, that terminating that would be considered homicide. So what happens in the case of an ectopic pregnancy, which will never, unfortunately, turn into a viable baby, or in the situation of in vitro fertilization? We look at heartbeat bills that say at 5 to 6 weeks, the heartbeat signifies the start of a life that should be protected, when at 6 weeks, it's a tube with electrical impulses. And these are difficult conversations to have, but I do worry about people out there who may receive a difficult diagnosis, maybe at the ultrasound, which happens at 18 to 20 weeks.
This kind of intersects with your study of embryology, doesn't it?
What happens?
Yes, it does. Yeah. Well, shit. Well, what did I just do? I just blew it. Okay, yeah, it does. Basically, I was in a conversation with a neighbor, and he was asking when life began, and I had to answer him that it doesn't begin. There's no point on that timeline. But at 6 weeks, he's right. You have a tube of electrical impulses. Mm-hmm. You've got a worm or a polywog with some electrical impulses that have nothing to do with the world or reality or thinking. And my opinion is that consciousness cannot form to any degree until the baby is born. So there really is no conscious individual.
So the number of wogs inside the baby is greater than or equal to 1 at 6 weeks.
Wogs?
You said polywog.
Polywog, yeah. The number of polywogs, yeah. Okay.
I'm just trying to follow along. You know all that embryology stuff better than me.
Oh yeah, okay. Anyway, the idea, these assholes. What are they doing? They're trying to put us back in the dark ages. I remember when there were basically all of these illegal abortions being performed, and women were dying from it. And there were all of these horrifying solutions prior to abortion being legal. And it was a nightmare. It was a third world country, right? We were like a third world country, and they want to go back to being a third world country because these motherfuckers think their religion trumps neuroscience and what we know about embryology. And I am fucking sick of that idea. That idea is holding us back as a nation, as a civilization, as a species. And we need to drop this shit right now. And that's why I'm an anti-theist.
And to add to that, I was watching, I think, either the Damage Report or on TYT or the Damage Report pre-show, and they were commenting on how the number of actual abortions went down after Roe. Then they didn't go up. There was not this big rush for all these women to get abortions.
Oh my goodness. And if you want to draw, if they want to draw the line at fertilization, we've got a little, like a cell with some water in it. That's what it is. It's not a fucking soul. It's not a human being.
That ain't no baby.
No baby.
It's a potential baby.
It's a potential baby. Yeah. And we'll get to that because I've had experience with this and I understand what basically the imagination we use to think about a potential baby becoming a viable human being and child, right, is all in our heads. It's not a reality. Okay. So basically, I like to think that that little thing could have become a molecular biologist, right? But I really doubt that was going to happen, for one thing. But the other thing, that is all in my head. And that's something that every person that has an abortion has to deal with. You have to deal with that reality yourself. And it is emotional and it is difficult. It's not a decision you make lightly at all. It's something that you make for reasons, and in my case, the reasons were pretty goddamn good because I don't think it would have turned out well. But anyway, let's see what the rest of this is.
What happens if there's a severe medical emergency later on? And what is the line between a procedure that's needed to save a mother's life versus right before that decision? There's a lot of unclear and vague language that could be dangerous, especially for people who don't have access to resources, such as people of color or in lower income communities.
So what options, if any, are available to mothers who maybe find out about some of the issues you're talking about later on in a pregnancy?
Diane, with any controversial medical topic, it's so important that we just listen to both sides. And I have heard from both people on both sides of this debate. And in certain states, there are options for counseling, for support. And, people in the pro-life community have options for child welfare, for foster care. And on the other end, there are a lot of businesses out there that are supporting women who may need to travel to another state. But I think the most important thing is that there are still physicians and healthcare groups that are doing everything they can to defend the reproductive rights of parents, of women, of people with the uterus, and people like myself who will do everything they can to make sure that we're protecting our nation's children. We're doing everything they can after birth to make sure that they have protection with child welfare, with poverty, and all of it. It's a fluid conversation, and it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Okay. Anyway, there's that.
Yeah, it's a sad time in our country.
It is. So my great niece just graduated from the University of Minnesota about 10 minutes ago. And there was one girl had written on the top of her hat, "My body, my choice."
Oh, there you go.
It's like, way to go.
Did they drag her out of there?
No, not at the University of Minnesota. It's a liberal college. Liberal. Yeah, well, they call Minneapolis Liberal Lakes in other parts of Minnesota.
Well, that'll be outlawed. Liberalism, if the conservatives take over.
Well, us liberals pretty much outnumber the conservatives, the rural people in Minnesota. So far, so good. Kind of like Austin has hopes of eventually wagging Texas in a different way, because Austin, Texas is pretty good. I don't know what the hell you're doing where you are. You had to move to Austin.
Just sort of ended up here and can't leave.
I would leave if I were you. It's because
I got my son and his family just a few miles down south, and I do not want to interrupt that situation.
Well, you might get drafted out for the wrong side when the war breaks out.
That's true. Because I need to get my Confederate general uniform.
Yeah. the North is going to declare war on the South to get them to secede this time.
Yeah.
They're not going
You will succeed.
You will secede. We want you out of here.
Yeah, the North filing for divorce from the South.
Yeah, exactly. I've been for that for about 10 years now. Can't believe it. But I don't know. Texas used to be a nice, independent, libertarian kind of state.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow they got taken over by the Bush Publicans or something. I'm not sure.
Well, it doesn't help that they spend a lot of time here in Texas. They're not really from here, but
yeah,
they somehow gained a lot of power here.
Yeah, Texas in the 60s was more down home, and
mm-hmm.
I don't know, it was different because I lived down there in the 60s. In the mid 60s, when I was a child.
Back when times were simpler.
I was a young one. So Midnight, what the hell is up with you?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What your excuse is.
Feeling paranoid? What do you mean? What do you mean? Not with me. I'm not doing anything.
No. Yeah. What the hell are you doing?
I mean, I'm playing. I'm on
Playing
stream.
with what?
Well,
playing with what?
I'm playing. I'm playing a video game while being on stream and trying to contribute because I don't know if you saw me on Rebecca's channel, but I did contribute a lot.
Did you?
Yes,
you did, sir.
So, fuck. Okay, first of all, imagine like an alien lands here and starts talking to a Christian, and a Christian tries to evangelize the alien by telling them that the word of God is written in this book. And the reason we know that is because the book tells you it's the word of God. But I'm kind of like an alien when it comes to Christianity because my exposure was when I was very, very young, right? Like 6-7 years old. So to me, when somebody tries to convince me of Christianity, I'm like, what the fuck? So you got a book. It's a really old book. It's been collected together in some canonical form twice, right? The Old Testament and the New Testament. They both went through their canonizing phases, as I understand. Because the Old Testament was like brought together as one book sometime in Israel, ancient Israel. Is that true?
The Bible? Yeah.
Okay. And that was brought together again when the for Christianity, the New Testament was added. So human beings edited that, translated it, copied it, brought it together, picked and chose which books to put into the Bible.
Yeah, fought over it.
And somewhere in there it says it's the word of God. And how do you know it's the word of God? Well, what I heard Rebecca saying is that it's because you could just tell, right? You can tell which books are the word of God and which aren't. How do we tell that? I mean, how does the average like alien like me, alien to Christianity, how do I tell what's the good part of the Bible and what's the bad part? By the fact of my own morality. That's how we tell. Every human being has a fact of his own morality. He is basically brought up in a human tribe and has acquired a moral, basically a moral core. And that's how we tell. And that's how the editors, the editors went a little overboard. They were looking also at doctrine, right? So they were looking at the dogma around the morality and the stories and what they wanted to put in. But give me a good reason to believe in this bullshit.
Simple. I'll tell you a good reason. Otangelo. His arguments are top notch. I couldn't say that with a straight face.
How did Otangelo do, by the way?
Horrible. He tried to go down a tangent of evolution and not being able to trust your own thoughts or whatever. And Rebecca's like, no.
And I'm glad as a Christian she was able to actually realize when talking about creation or whatever is off topic, because both Darth Dawkins and Otangelo have this capacity to come into a room and try to hijack the conversation and
Right.
then change it around to for Darth it's for his presuppositional bullshit, and for Otangelo it's for creationism and factories and shit like that. And I started to say, well, this was it's a show about atheists' thoughts about the Bible, and Otangelo wanted it to be on Christians' thoughts about atheist thoughts on the Bible, and it was just off topic.
Yeah. Yeah, he always is. He's got his axe to grind. He's got one show that he does, the Otangelo show.
Remember, his aim is to silence the atheists.
Yeah.
So, well, there's Brainbug.
Through science. But like Rebecca has this view of Christianity that I find very appealing until she gets to the Yek stuff. And I don't think the Yek stuff fits in very well with the rest of her philosophy at all. And I asked that question when I was on the stream, that where in science does it point to a young Earth? And if it doesn't point there in science, then you have to admit that you're getting your science from the Bible first and science second. If you can't find a radiometric study or something that says the Earth is 6,000 to 10,000 years old, then don't tell me that you're getting your science from science, right? You're getting it from creationists. It's warmed over science. It's directed science, or
it's from propaganda, which you find on AIG or ICR's websites. So
tomorrow, Brainbug and I will be on Vandalia in 1998, and we'll be talking about the evolution of angiosperms. Ooh, nice. I was just looking at the development of angiosperms, and Brainbug about the incredible diversity of pollinators. Pretty cool.
Angie.
Let's see if we can find that. We might find that. Let's see. I got Vandalia down here somewhere. My list of things to watch.
Yeah, Vandalia has a way he can get some folks together and they can have a good conversation.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Where's it at?
What's his name? I hear RJ will call him by his real name, or I assume it's his real name on occasion, and I never can remember what it is.
I don't know. Here's the link, boys and girls, to Vandalia 1988.
Anyway, I got a pet peeve I want to point out whenever we get a chance, whenever it's not violating the subject that we're talking about.
I don't think we have
a subject. Thank you, Brainbug.
The subject? Okay, let's see. Thank you, what?
Brainbug just mentioned that Vandalia 1998's first name is Lamont, and that's what I was trying to remember.
Oh, okay.
Just good things happen when Brainbug shows up.
I know. It's always good. Let's see here. Let me link Vandalia's stream. Oh, working on it. Anyway, wow. What else? So I've been doing two things. I've been exercising and I've been studying embryology. That's about it. It's Rebecca.
Rebecca has joined us. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, guys.
Copy video Earl.
How are you?
Okay. I was just talking
fine.
about
Long time no see.
Yeah, I heard you talking about me, so I thought I better jump in.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah,
I promise you, it was all good.
Most of it was good. There's still this little business of young Earth creationism, which is the axe grind.
By the way, Rebecca, great stream.
Oh, thank you, Midnight Sparkle. I'm glad you were there. Yeah, it was fun.
Like I said earlier, if Christians turn their back on you about who you allow in your streams and what you say, you always have a seat at our malt shop table where we talk about intellectual and philosophical things as well as science.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. and I
Well,
was
Mike,
talking-
I want to just
correct me.
well, kind of on not correct you, just correct you on my perspective. Like, because
Please.
remember, I've told you before, my belief in young earth creationism is not a scientific belief,
Okay.
right? So I feel like the science, there are some like scientific things that point to young earth creationism, but there's also, I acknowledge the evidence against it. So I'm really just putting more weight on what I think the Bible says about that. So I'll fully admit that that's a belief. But I feel like what you're trying to do is say that I'm getting my science from the Bible, which is not what I'm doing. I'm saying that's my belief about the world, but that's not a scientific belief.
Okay, so you get your information about the world from the Bible rather than science, is what
Some
you're
of
saying.
it. Yeah, but I also embrace science. I just don't embrace all of the conclusions that are currently proposed
The ones that go against your biblical research. Basically.
Exactly.
So, do you think you could be wrong about this young Earth creationist stuff?
Yes, I could.
Okay. We hope to convince you, and because without that, you'd be just the perfect Christian. I think. I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, can't you just overlook that?
No.
I'm wondering what beliefs that I'm expressing are appealing to you.
Oh God, let me.
Well, one thing I mentioned when we were. So what?
No hell.
Yeah, no hell. Was the kind of the approach to conflict that you mentioned is just you believe this and you believe that and I believe that. It's almost like descriptions of rabbis getting together and with their different beliefs about things. They just it's just not that sore a subject. And my theory was that, and I may be totally off base on this, but in order to be a Jew, most of them have to be born into that, and so if those rabbis didn't have a better way to resolve conflict, they'd be basically telling people who were born Jews, you're not good enough, you're not Jewish enough, or whatever, and you can't really help how you were born. But with Christianity, although you spiritually speaking, it talks of being in a family or being of one kind or whatever. There's not as much of a family bond like that. There's no genetics to being a Christian, and so I'm wondering if people get away with other Christian groups simply because it's easier to do that than if you had to somehow be born into Christianity.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think when Christians do that, it's a mistake. And even the Bible calls it Paul rebukes people in 1 Corinthians. He says, why do some of you say I'm of Apollos and I'm of so-and-so and I'm of Paul? We are all one in Christ Jesus. So for me, it's a priority to be united with my brothers and sisters in Christ and not to be concerned about these secondary issues.
But there were also other Christian groups that he would consider wolves and things like that because they, teach circumcision or what have you. So even for other groups, they weren't Christian enough, even though the ones he was talking about invoked the name of Christ and saw themselves as Christian. So, yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, like even you're saying Paul himself was not kind of living up to that standard because he was,
Yeah, and I think if your attitude is we are mortal and we don't know everything and we don't know the nature of God, right? And if you have deep faith in God and you don't know all the answers, then you're willing to look at the book over and over again in a number of different ways. And basically, I've got a friend, Luke Bauer, who finds all sorts of. Is that a cat's tail or is that?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Whenever my cat hears me talking on a stream, he
Mine
jumps
too.
over to me. So,
Mine too.
yeah.
You know, yeah. I thought it was a cobra snake or something.
It did look like that, yeah.
Coral snake or coral snake. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? So if you look at it that way, and you just let go of all the dogma, let go of the idea that you might know that you have this gnosis, that you might know God, right? Then you are in a position where the difference between you and a Buddhist is like hardly at all. And in order to live spiritually, I don't think you can do that with any dogma. I think dogma contradicts belief, or like strict belief contradicts strict faith. I see faith and belief as opposites. Always have.
Well, would you consider experiencing God a dogma?
Well, interpreting that experience as something would be the dogma. The experience itself is not. We all experience God in some fashion, right?
Well, I like to be open-minded, Mike. So I'd like to say, hey, there's some truth in Buddhism, but
Yep.
I mean, Buddhism has beliefs too.
Well,
And
yeah,
the belief that there's a belief that there is no God and that we're cycling through, right, suffering and so there are specific beliefs in Buddhism that contradict the ideas that are taught in my religion, like God exists, God loves you, you're a unique being, that you're not going to be recycled. You're not here just to suffer. To overcome suffering. So
where does being a unique being contradict being recycled?
Well, what I mean is that you won't take different forms. Like you won't become an animal if you're a human being. Like you're not going to become another human being. You're going to be the person that you are. You're always going to be Mike. You're going to be a glorified Mike. You're going to have a different body. You're going to have an immortal body, God willing, if you're not hellbound, like your name suggests.
I got that from Sal Cordova now. Sal name.
I know. And you know what? I had a fight with Sal about hell last night. And basically he called me a heretic, but that's okay. Cause me and Sal, I love Sal very much, but
clearly he doesn't love you if you say, if he calls you a heretic.
That's okay. No, he does love me. He just, he's very strong in his beliefs about hell. And, I think hell is going to become, non-belief in hell is going to become less controversial because the word is getting out there and the truth is being known. Look, guys, I don't speak very strongly about many Christian, things that Christians disagree about. What I mean is I won't say, I know I'm right. Even young earth creationism, I'm not going to say, I know I'm right. There's a lot of things that I'll say, I don't know. But when it comes to hell, I can tell you there is the biblical support for this idea of hell as eternal conscious torment is slim to none. Yeah. And the evidence on the other side, the biblical support for what I believe, annihilation, the destruction of God's enemies, is incredibly strong. So you have very good reasons to believe that you're not hellbound, Mike.
Yeah. Okay. What
if I want to go to hell?
Well, Midnight Sparkle, that no such place exists. So sorry.
Get yourself a Bunsen burner and
you have to create one.
Yeah, go sit on the gas stove or something. But I want to straighten this business about reincarnation out. Okay. There's the westernized Buddhism, which I call Hollywood Buddhism, which some nutcakes in California adopted. But reincarnation is a mythos. It's basically a story to get you to understand that you don't die because you never really were. If you're not an individual, if there is no individuality that's clear cut and boundary, like if there is no real Mike, just an idea I have in my head and an idea that I'm putting over on you guys that I really exist. If you don't have that, when you die, you become part of the world and you get recycled. And basically, so it's a mythos. It's not meant to be believed in. I mean, like, okay, if Mike got reincarnated as a worm, how the hell would that work? Would I still have my knowledge of embryology as a worm? Would I know how to garden? Would I remember my children as a worm? I mean, that's, it's a myth meant to point at a greater truth. It is not something to be taken literally or seriously. Anybody who takes reincarnation and Buddhism seriously is not a Buddhist. They're bullshit. So anyway. Oh, you're muted, Rebecca.
Sorry. Okay, well then let's put reincarnation aside.
Okay.
Let's talk about the idea of a personal God, because there is no God in Buddhism.
Well, there's a lot of God in Buddhism. It's just that you don't know what it is. You don't presume to know God. You simply have faith in this greater thing, which you can call God. So there's no dogma involved in it. There's no description of God. There's no idea that God is up there tinkering and thinking, that sort of thing. So that's the thing that you let go. You just let go of the idea that you know God. For you to know God, you'd have to be God. And of course, there are some versions of Buddhism that say we all are God. That basically God is all of us.
Hold on. Wait, are you talking about in Buddhism?
In Buddhism.
Okay, because I was gonna say because if you're just talking generally, it doesn't really work. For you to know a car, you gotta be a car.
What?
No, never mind. I was just
okay. I got it. I got what you're saying. But there's
to be the actually guy here for a moment. There are forms of Buddhism that do worship gods.
Yeah.
And spirits.
Various gods, and the same thing with
I worship myself.
Basically, Native American religions had all sorts of like mini things that you worship, and I do that every time I go out in the woods. Except that I worship the god of embryology and angiosperms because I add all my knowledge and what I know about something. And I look at the glory of the tree or the blooming whatever. And so basically I'm doing sort of a worship of, a natural phenomena, but it doesn't go any further than that. I don't think it's like a god. I wouldn't call it like the oak tree is a god. What does that mean? What do I mean by calling something like an oak tree a god, or like the wind a god, or the thunder a god? What do I mean by that? Like
you'll have to ask some Norwegian people.
Well, if you get struck by lightning, I've talked to two people that have been struck by lightning, and both had resounding spiritual experiences as a result. They felt at peace for weeks afterwards. Of course, electroshock therapy works the same way. I don't know, but anyway. So what
Interesting.
else?
Well, you're talking about worshiping the thing itself rather than the creator of the thing, right?
No. It's I would the creator of the thing, because the creator of the thing is in the thing, right? I mean, if you worship an oak tree, you've got to worship the minerals and the salts and the rocks and mineral, everything that it came from, right? You got to worship its ancestors and everything. I mean, it's all in one. So. But you wouldn't worship it in terms of, like I believe in the oak god and I'm going to defend the oak god and I'm going to go kill the neighboring tribe who cuts the oak god down. No, it's not like that. No dogma. So faith.
What do you have against dogma?
What was a shitty movie for one? Just kidding. It was a good movie.
Ellen Watts. Basically, Ellen Watts. I cut my teeth on Ellen Watts. So
who?
Ellen Watts. Dogma is like
Oh, you mean Alan?
Ellen Watts.
ALNA.
Here's what I found.
Oh Jesus! Shut up, Siri.
No.
I don't want. My watch is talking to me. Can you guys hear that when my watch says, "Here's what I
Yes.
found"? Okay.
Well,
That's
for
for
me,
me.
dogma, I kind of separate dogma from doctrine a little.
Well,
Dogma is something that you must believe or you are not part of our tribe or our religion. If you come up against it, then that's what you're considered a heretic or whatever. There's that idea of being dogmatic is it's not going to change. You have to believe this or something bad will happen to you,
I think when I hear Mike say it, it sounds like it means more than that.
Yeah,
it sounds like it means any belief about God.
Right. Would be wrong.
Well, with dogma, it's imposed by an authority outside of you, whether the group or, like in the case of Catholics and other churches, through the priestly hierarchy. But it's kind of an externally imposed and rigid set of beliefs that you're not to question, that you just have to accept by faith.
Well, is it possible, Mike, that God is not a dogma? God is a reality, and he wants you to experience him. And yes, he wants you to experience him through the oak tree and through the
look at the trees. Look at the
Exact-
trees. That's your argument. Look at the trees.
Look at the flowers. So
hey, he brought up the oak tree, by the way. I wasn't
Well,
gonna go
yeah.
to the trees.
So Speed, bad boy. You know what I mean. You should never bring that up because
So
Rebecca will use it.
Just a quick aside, a little story. So apparently in Gilbert, Evelyn, Minnesota, northern Minnesota, in an area where they actually voted for Trump this time, there is a school that apparently is allowing kids to identify as furries. And the claim is that they've even gone as far as to put litter boxes in the restrooms. And I don't think that part's true. But my sister's grandkids go to that school, and she was freaking out about this furry thing. And I told her, Char, look at the flowers. It's going to be okay. It's like they're kids. They're resilient. It's not going to kill them. It's like, but everybody's up in arms about this. We are looking into the factuality of this and trying to find out what they're doing exactly in the Evelyn Gilbert schools. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. Honestly, I think I read about it that it wasn't true.
Well, this is in a particular school, and this is my niece
Fake
is
news.
planning on moving her kids because of it. So there must be some basis to it. We'll have to find out. But anyway, the problem I have with dogma is this, and it isn't just dogma; it's rationality. Okay, rational thinking and thought deals with concepts. And we use these concepts to try to figure out what exactly is going on in the world. And that's a remarkably good tool. It's how I figure out that I have a cup of coffee here. And it's a Hello Kitty cup. And so I can use my mind to do that. But
So
you don't use your mind to have faith, and you don't use your mind in spirituality. Okay, spirituality and faith are far purer and simpler than anything you can conceptualize. So we have a core as human organisms that is this wonderful being embedded in the universe, and that is faith and spirituality. But as soon as you start thinking, well, what do you mean by in the universe, and you start like dogmatizing it, well, then you are no longer acting in faith and spirituality. You are acting in your thinky brain, and your thinky brain is only good for so much. So that's what I mean. So rationality, or like, you do understand that there are two different ways to be. Okay, you can run out and dance in the forest and feel things without thinking a single thought. Okay, that's one way to be. The other way to be is to go out in the forest and think, I am on this path. My name is Mike. I am here. I am so old. And all of this, rational stuff that we we use as tools, and there's nothing wrong with rationality as long as you understand that it has its place. So that's why I push back on dogma, because it interferes with my path.
And that's why my husband loves you, Mike. My
What?
husband,
Really?
Jeremy. Yeah,
no.
Jeremy, he always, like, whenever in our group you would say something, he was like, yes, Mike gets it. Mike gets it. And, you know, he's.
Oh, he was the one. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, he appreciates the way that you're expressing these sorts of things, you know, because so many people are putting all their faith, like, and I mean, they are putting their faith in their rationality,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're putting
Right.
like all their stock in their rationality, their ability to like figure things out by reason. And it's, that I think that is a problem. I think it's a problem for modern world. And my husband thinks so too, which is why he always appreciated your comments.
Yeah. And that's not saying that rationality isn't a very good tool to use, but
yes,
like I say, it has its limits and its place, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Rationality. I am team rationality forever. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just try to do the best I can.
So that reminds me, I was like, I frequently talk at 12-step meetings of a group that I belong to for my recovery. And several times I've had this happen, but one particular time this person walked up to me and they were just like, you have renewed my faith in God and Jesus. And he was going on and on about how I was talking. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm an atheist. That's not what I wanted to do. That wasn't the point. But anyway, it was funny. That he came up with this enthusiasm about how I had, helped him with his faith. And maybe, if it helps, good, use it. So
cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, Rebecca, I have a quick question for you. Do you
am I in trouble?
No. Do you intentionally have that degree framed that way so people see it when you turn on the camera? Because it's very deliberate. It just seems very
of course. Of course. What good would it be if it was just hanging on my wall and nobody saw it?
But do you not see how that comes off?
How does it come off?
What the fuck?
We lost
Why did you remove her?
Oh man, thanks a lot, Midnight.
What?
Yeah, you got rid of Rebecca. You killed her. Oh my God.
I bet she's taking it down and this will come back on.
She said she has to leave for 5 minutes. She has to leave in 5 minutes. Thanks for the chat. So she left anyway.
So that's a degree on the wall?
Yeah.
That was very sudden.
What is it a degree in?
I don't know, but it looks.
It may be just like a certificate or something.
Yeah, but it just looks suspicious to me. I was like,
it's kind of sad that Sal Cordova has these degrees on his fireplace and he's constantly showing them. Yeah, what happened to you?
Guys, sorry about that. I dropped out.
We thought you took your degree off the wall.
No, but do you know what that is on the wall? That's not my degree.
I'm blind.
Oh, that's Atheist of the Month's.
That's
Titans. Yeah.
Oh, Atheist of the Month.
Never mind then. I feel stupid.
I just had to. I had to use my magnifier.
Yeah.
Well, I'm dumb
to do that.
Oh, so I removed Midnight. I got rid of them.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, Speed.
Wow.
Yeah, it would do no good if I made an Atheist of the Month and then I put his degree on my wall somewhere where nobody could see it, right? So.
Oh, that's cool. So who's the current Atheist of the Month?
Titan Uranus. Now I said that.
Yeah, Titan Uranus.
What the hell? Where's my degree or whatever the certificate?
Well, you have to be more faithful to my channel, and then maybe you'll get Atheist of the Month.
He was all over YouTube going, "I'm Atheist of the Month. I can do what I want."
There's something funny about how Titan Uranus got you to put Titan Uranus on your wall.
Yeah.
Well, usually I only put people's first names, but for Titan Uranus, it seemed to go together, so I had to put the whole thing.
Yeah, it's precious. Anyway. Cool.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, I actually do have to go, but thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming.
Always
Bye.
enjoyed to chat with you.
Yep,
Yes.
you too. Bye, guys.
Our favorite Christian.
Thank
the only
you.
one. In fact, you're the only one.
Make me a Christian. make me an award then. I want to see
Christian
my
of-
award.
Christian of the month.
Yeah. Christian
All
of
right.
the year. Okay, goodbye.
Cool. Okay, bye, guys.
Bye, Rebecca.
We can
Love
get her a
you.
gift certificate to Majestic Liquor or something.
Yeah. Something like that. What else? What else we got going?
Well, I should probably leave because I do have something to do at 6:30, so I'm gonna leave for a bit.
Cool.
That looks
By that,
I
do you
think
mean
we-
6:30 Eastern?
yes.
I think we should all leave.
Oh well, okay. If you're gonna shoot it in the head, then shoot it in the head.
Yeah. What do you think? It's
It's
Friday.
up to you, man.
It's Friday.
I got plenty of reading to do. I've
You know,
got.
We
I've
should
got,
do it.
I found out that they're doing.
I see a dog.
Huh?
Yeah.
I see
there's
a dog behind you.
A doggy.
Behind me? Oh yeah. Oh Gibbs.
A little
Yeah.
tiny dog. It's a little
Yeah,
tiny
it's
one.
the little Chewini.
Yeah.
It's Gibbs. He is my constant companion, except when I'm sitting here, and then he'll try to get under the desk at my feet,
Ah,
and
He's
then
so
he tries
cute.
to jump in my lap. He is a cutie. He's a quiet one, very laid back and chill.
yeah. My son was complaining that our streams are too long anyway, so
Well, he needs to come in here and participate, and maybe we'll shorten it for him.
But you were saying something, Scott? That
What
you-
was I saying?
You had reading to do, and
Yeah, that TV show on Prime Video called Bosch, based on the
oh yeah,
books by Michael Connolly. That series ended after I can't remember how many seasons.
10 years, I think 10.
And now though they have apparently IMDb had hosted free TV shows and movies to stream. Apparently they got rid of that, and somebody acquired it and they renamed it Freevee, Freevee. And so there's a like 4-part limited series called Bosch Legend that kind of
Ooh.
continues the story. And it's got the Titus Welliver, who played Bosch. It's got the girl who plays his daughter. It's got the evil, mean defense attorney that he was always butting heads with. So it looks like a pretty good series, mini series. So I'm excited about that.
So you got to download like the Freevee application to watch it, or
Well, I think you do. Yeah, it's on Roku, so it's no big deal.
does
It's
it
not like I
have
have to-
commercials?
Yes, you have to deal with commercials.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that.
Now, I don't know if you have like an IMDb Pro or something like that account. I don't know if that transfers over.
I feel
But,
dirty when I watch commercials. I just feel dirty.
I know. Plus, at least when you were watching commercials on network TV, there was a wide variety of them.
Yeah, they play the
these
same
things, there's
one.
the same one over and
Yeah.
over and over,
Yeah, which I really,
or same 2 or 3.
I mean, entertain me for God's sake if you're going to try to sell me something. No. Anyway.
Okay, well, are we shooting in the head?
We are shooting it in the head, but I was going to say something else. I can't remember. I'm just so excited about my great niece graduating from the U today.
I know you're proud of her.
I am
I
so
know you're proud of her.
It's just absolutely amazing.
Did you get her a present?
No, I don't do that kind of shit.
Oh.
I don't do cards. I don't do presents. I don't do anything normal people do. What I did in her honor is while she was graduating, I was cutting up and looking at the cross section of a buckthorn bud, and she appreciated that. So that's the kind of thing I do.
Yeah. Well, as long as she appreciated your
She does.
interest in botany,
Right.
I think it's exciting. You have a scientist person
Offspring.
for a great niece.
Yeah, she's coming out. We're going to go for a walk down in the valley. We gather all kinds of specimens and then look at them under the microscope, and pretty cool.
Very
Yeah.
awesome. Well,
It is.
tell her that I, a stranger named Scott, says congratulations, and I'm proud of her
No,
too.
no. Get your name right. It's Zachary Comstock, and not Scott. Grow that beard, Scott. I mean, Zachary. Comstock. The next time I see you on stream, I want to see it longer.
Okay.
It gets a little longer every day unless I go and have it trimmed.
Yep. I trim mine almost every day.
I usually have them trim here, but not here.
Yeah. I'm afraid it will catch in the cap if I let it grow.
Yeah. And I have a fear of like closing a drawer with my
Yeah.
beard and
Right.
walking away. Ooh, not
Horrible.
not pleasant.
Horrible. Okay, guys, we're going to shoot her in the head for the day.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much in the side chat for participating today.
We should do a Saturday night at the Atheist this week. I'm going to try.
Yes, you should invite Unbeatable.
Yeah, I think I will. Okay. Okay, guys. Goodbye, cruel world. We're out of here.